What if getting lost at sea led to young friends to a place they never believed could exist? The story begins with a group of animals sailing across the ocean after escaping the Great Flood. They are still searching for a new island, a place they can finally call home. Aboard the Ark, a lion named Lenny tells the animals that he will send out a dove to scout the area and search for nearby land. Meanwhile, Dave is busy preparing food for everyone on the ship. Each animal receives a meal, but Lenny is tired of eating the same thing every day, so he asks Dave what other food is left in storage. Dave immediately becomes nervous. The truth is simple: almost all their supplies are gone, and that's why he has been serving the same meals over and over again. At the same time, Finny and Leah are working on a homemade airplane. They launch it into the air and try to explore the area themselves. But things quickly go wrong. The plane suddenly breaks apart, and moments later, they crash right back onto the Ark. As they slide across the deck, they smash through the dining table where the animals are eating. Their parents are not happy. As punishment, Finny and Leah are ordered to stand watch in the lookout tower. Their job is simple: keep an eye on the horizon and report anything unusual. But before long, the two friends become bored, so they build statues that look exactly like them. Then they place the statues in the tower and sneak away. Both of them are starving, so they decide to visit the food storage room. But at that exact moment, Dave and Hazel enter the storage room as well. Finny and Leah quickly hide behind the food crates. While checking the remaining supplies, Dave and Hazel try to calculate how many days of food they have left. But then something unexpected happens. Dave leans against a wooden support beam. The beam suddenly snaps, and the entire storage area begins collapsing. Hazel manages to save Dave at the last second, but all the food crates roll across the floor and tumble straight into the ocean. Finny and Leah are swept away too. They had been hiding behind those same crates. The two friends desperately call for help, but nobody on the Ark hears them, and before they know it, they are drifting farther and farther away, with no other choice. They climb onto a floating piece of wood and let the waves carry them away. The next morning, they wake up hungry, so Finny builds a fishing rod and tries to catch something to eat. But the first thing they catch is not a fish, it's a jellyfish. Leah is so hungry that she wants to eat it immediately, but Finny stops her. That's when the jellyfish introduces herself. Her name is Jelly. She asks if she can travel with them, and after a moment, Finny agrees. From that point on, Jelly joins their journey. Back on the Ark, Dave prepares another meal for the animals, but the food portions are now much smaller. Knowing the animals will complain, he comes up with a clever plan. He secretly places a hair inside the food, and when the animals spot it, they become disgusted and refuse to eat. Right then, another storm arrives. Lightning begins striking all around the Ark. The situation becomes more dangerous with every second. Then a powerful bolt hits the lookout tower. The tower catches fire, and moments later, it collapses. Dave and Hazel panic. They immediately worry about Finny and Leah, but when they rush over, they discover the statues inside the tower. The statues are destroyed, and because of that, they assume the children were never there. Relieved, they believe Finny and Leah are completely safe. Meanwhile, out on the ocean, the wooden raft finally breaks apart. Finny and Leah fall into the water. Finny tries to swim after Leah, but he can't find her anywhere. But things get worse. A group of fish suddenly begins chasing him. Terrified, Finny swims as fast as he can, until he crashes into something and loses consciousness. When he finally wakes up, he finds himself surrounded by Nestrians. Finny is completely shocked. For his entire life, Finny believed that he and his father were the last Nestrians left in the world. The Nestrians then take him to meet their queen. Meanwhile, Leah wakes up on a mysterious island, and Jelly is right beside her. Leah immediately worries about Finny, but then she remembers something important. Finny is an excellent swimmer, and she hopes that somehow he managed to survive too. At the same time, the Nestrians tell Finny that today marks the 50th anniversary of their settlement. They explain that the colony was built long ago, a safe place where they could live hidden from the outside world. After that, Finny is taken to meet the queen. He immediately asks for permission to leave and search for his friends. But first, the queen asks whether his friends are Nestrians. When Finny tells her they are not, she refuses his request. She explains that the colony exists only for Nestrians, and once someone enters, they are not allowed to leave. Then she assigns guards to watch him closely. Back on the Ark, Dave and Hazel discover scratch marks that Leah left on the wooden plank. They quickly realize what happened. Finny and Leah must have fallen into the ocean along with the food crates. At that moment, The other animals overhear their conversation, and they finally learn the truth. All the food on the ark is gone. The animals become furious, and they decide to throw Dave and Hazel overboard. But right before they do, Dave spots an island in the distance. He quickly points it out. The animals immediately cheer, believing their problems are finally over. So they spare Dave and Hazel and head toward the island. Elsewhere, Jelly asks Leah to help change the water inside her body. So the two friends head toward the shoreline. Once they arrive, Jelly jumps into the water and starts playing. But then something unexpected happens. A group of Nestrians suddenly appears, and they try to capture Leah. Leah immediately runs. She races across the island until she finally hides among a cluster of rocks. From there, she spots the ark far away in the distance. Desperate to get their attention, she starts waving. But before anyone can see her, the rocks collapse beneath her. At that exact moment, the volcano suddenly erupts. The ground shakes violently. Leah falls to the ground in fear, and the Nestrian guards quickly capture her. They take her straight to the colony. Meanwhile, Jelly watches everything from a distance, and she learns exactly where they are taking Leah. Not long after, the ark finally reaches the island. The animals rush ashore excitedly. Then they begin searching for food. Meanwhile, Dave and Hazel spot the wooden plank floating near the shore. They immediately recognize the sail drawing on it. The discovery fills them with hope, because now they know Finny and Leah must be somewhere on the island. At the same time, Jelly sneaks into the colony. There, she finally finds Finny. She quickly tells him that Leah is being held prisoner. The news shocks him, but Finny decides to wait for the right opportunity. Later, while the guards are distracted by a celebration, he quietly slips away and immediately begins searching for Leah. Meanwhile, the queen visits Leah. As they talk, a powerful earthquake suddenly shakes the colony. That's when Leah reveals something important. The volcano is becoming unstable, and it could fully erupt at any moment. She warns them that everyone should board the ark and leave the island before it's too late. But the queen refuses. She insists they will never abandon their home, and Leah will remain locked up. A short time later, the guards inform the queen that the ark has arrived, and all the animals have come ashore. The queen immediately orders every Nestrian to gather for an emergency meeting. Meanwhile, Finny spots the queen from a distance. He quickly tries to hide, but before she notices him, a group of children pulls him into hiding. Curious, Finny asks why they are there. The children explain that they came to see the strange creature captured from the ark. Finny instantly realizes they are talking about Leah, so he asks them to take him there. The moment the children see Leah, they become frightened and quickly run away. As soon as they are gone, Finny speaks with Leah. He tries to open the door, but Leah explains that it is locked, and only the queen has the key. Finny assures her that he will find a way to free her. Meanwhile, the queen begins her meeting. She reminds the Nestrians that they must follow the colony's rules and protect themselves at all costs. Then she warns them that dangerous predators have arrived with the ark, and because of their hunger, they could attack anything they find. For that reason, she officially forbids anyone from leaving the colony. Finally, she reassures everyone that they are safe. The colony is hidden beneath the island, and almost impossible to find. Meanwhile, Dave and Hazel continue searching everywhere for Finny and Leah. At that moment, Jelly spots them. She quickly notices how much they resemble Finny and Leah. That's when she realizes they must be their parents. So she approaches them and starts talking. Dave immediately asks where the children are, and Jelly tells them everything she knows. Meanwhile, that night, Finny sneaks into the queen's chamber. He carefully steals the key from the shell around her neck, but then something unexpected happens. The shell wakes the queen and alerts her that the key is gone. She immediately jumps up, then orders the guards to catch Finny before he escapes. Finny races through the colony as fast as he can, and before the guards reach him, he makes it to Leah's cell. He unlocks the door and frees her. Then the two friends try to escape together, but the guards quickly surround them, and moments later, they're captured. The captain of the guards orders the soldiers to take Finny and Leah to the storage room and lock them inside. But along the way, the guards remove their masks, and to the children's surprise, they are actually Dave and Hazel. Finny and Leah are overjoyed. They immediately run over and hug their parents. But at that same moment, the queen goes to the storage room to check on the prisoners, only to discover they are gone. Furious, she orders the guards to search the entire colony. Before long, the guards corner the group near a bridge. Leah desperately tries to explain that everyone must leave before the volcano destroys the island. Hazel also tries to reason with them, She explains that the animals are not dangerous monsters, and that everyone can live together in peace. But the queen refuses to listen, so Leah and Hazel make a difficult choice. They cut the bridge rope, separating themselves from the guards. Then they all run, and eventually manage to escape from the colony. Meanwhile, Dave and Hazel reunite Finney and Leah with the other animals. They quickly explain the situation to Lenny. Everyone must leave the island before the volcano erupts. But then they discover a new problem. Lenny has already taken part of the ark apart and used the materials to build things on the island. Right then, a powerful earthquake shakes the ground. The volcano finally erupts. Panic spreads across the island, and nobody knows what to do. The animals desperately search for a way to rebuild the ark in time. Meanwhile, the colony begins collapsing. Large sections break apart and fall. The Nestrians immediately declare an emergency, and everyone rushes to evacuate. Almost all of them escape safely, except for the queen. A massive statue crashes down and traps her beneath it. Soon after, the Nestrians reach the surface and meet the animals. Finney asks them to help repair the ark so everyone can escape together. The captain of the guards thinks for a moment, and in the end, he agrees. At once, the animals and Nestrians begin working side by side. Together, they rebuild the missing section of the ark, and before long, the ship is ready. But then a group of Nestrians approaches Finney with alarming news. The queen is still trapped inside the collapsing colony, and she needs help. Without hesitation, Finney decides to rescue her. He dives into the water and swims back toward the colony. When Jelly hears what happened, she decides to help, so she follows him. Together, they reach the queen and manage to pull her out from beneath the statue. But there is another problem. She is unconscious. Finney becomes worried and asks Jelly to help save her. Jelly uses her electric shock ability again and again, until the queen finally wakes up. The queen thanks Finney for risking his life to save her, but she is still too weak to swim, so they must act fast. The three of them climb into a small vehicle and escape just before it's too late. Eventually, they make it back to the shore, but by then, flames surround them from every direction. There is no safe way out. Then, right when all hope seems lost, Leah appears in her airplane. She reaches them just in time and rescues them from the fire. They quickly climb aboard. Then Leah flies them back toward the ark. Meanwhile, Dave and Hazel finally spot Finney and Leah again. Relieved to see them safe, they hurry back to the ship as well and manage to board at the very last moment. At that point, Lenny orders everyone to get the ark moving immediately. Animals and Nestrians work together, and just in time, the ark sails away from the island. As they move farther into the ocean, they watch the island collapse beneath the volcanic eruption. With their old home gone, the animals and Nestrians begin a new life together. They learn to live side by side in peace, helping one another, working together, and turning the ark into a beautiful new home. In the end, everyone learns the true meaning of friendship and cooperation. And that's where today's story comes to an end.